Hi, Scotty Allwood here. That's a blanket I used earlier to take a nap. Don't mind it. We're here to rewatch, review, recap Beethoven, a movie from the early 90s starring Charles Grodin, Bonnie Hunt, Oliver Platt, David Duchovny, Stanley Stucci. You know who he is because he's amazing. What an amazing cast for such a silly old film. Movie opens. Pleasant little town, little pet store, some animals, little puppy pup. Guess who it is? Beethoven as a baby. Everyone's looking at Beethoven like, oh my god, you're so freaking cute. Drops. I'm gonna go get this iguana though. They're all teasing him and Beethoven's getting restless. There's a kid that puts her face up against the glass, just smashing her nose like a little piglet. Just to tease him. Well, she's probably wanting to have a dog, but her mean old mom comes over and takes her away and says, no puppies for you! Back to the dungeon! So we got a motorcycle bad girl come in and she's like, I got a junkyard and I need a badass junkyard dog. And the customers lady is like, no, little Beethoven's so cute. Like, what do you mean? And she's like, you can make any dog mean. And she picks up the dog and she's like, I'm gonna make you a mean boy. And then I'm not gonna lie, while rewatching this movie, I bust out loud laughing. It made me laugh so hard, I'm embarrassed to admit it a little bit. Beethoven doesn't get purchased, thankfully, by the evil motor skank. But now we cut to the night, and it's Stanley Tucci and Oliver Platt as I want to say lovable goons, but only Oliver Platt's lovable, and Stanley's just kind of an A butthole. They're so scared of these dogs being kidnapped that they have this sensor. Why not have cameras at that point then? They just have the sensors though. Uh-oh. The alarm has been triggered and Oliver Platt says,
I've stepped into beam.
Beethoven's in the back in a cage, sees another dog, Wishbone, because he looks like that little dog, Wishbone. We see up front that the robbers are so excited about stealing 7 dogs. There's no way they got more than that. They're so excited that they hug. And this leads to them running into a curb. Comes over to Beethoven's cage and lets him out. So now they're both free. Wishbone must have come from a circus because he's already up at the door like, I'm gonna open this door for us. Cool, dude. The other dogs are like, what about us? And the Wishbone and him don't care. They jump out, whoop, and just runs off. This vehicle has to be going like 20 miles an hour. Can you imagine if you or I jumped out of this truck at 20 miles an hour and just landed on our feet? And Beethoven doesn't have a minute to run. He's already tired. So he just chills out in a garbage can. They don't notice him. They take off. Next day, but uh-oh, guess what? It's trash day, and guess who's still in the garbage? That's right, baby Beethoven. But he wakes up and walks down the street, and he's chill until he runs into a typical cat. Boo! You suck, mean cat. Beethoven eventually gets into the yard of Charles Grodin. So Charles Grodin walks out, and I assume because he knows that the paper arrives at this moment every single day, because right then the newspaper kid rides his little bike. Did he not rubber band them today? Did he just figure, or does he hate Charles Grodin? I don't know, but the paper flies everywhere. Beethoven sees this as an opportunity to sneak inside the house, so he just walks right in, walks up some stairs. Meanwhile, this family that lives there, Charles Grodin's family, the mother, Bonnie Hunt, wakes up, and she wakes up Ted, the boy child, who is sleeping next to them because he had a scary nightmare. Nightmare's over, though. Or is it just beginning? Because it's 7 a.m. on a fucking Saturday. What kind of psycho father makes their kids get up? Like, he's out getting the paper and he's making his wife wake up the kids and be like, sorry, it's your dad, Gotta get up because of reasons. They're not even doing anything. It's not like they have plans. He just wants them to get up. Why? Beethoven gets to the youngest kid's room, gets into its bed, starts licking the kid all over the face. Like, seriously, so fucking gross.
Guys, do you have to...
I feel like I started tearing up at that line. So adorable. Charles Grodin finds out about the dog, does not want it, goes on a rant.
Dogs sniff, they lick, they chew. It'll grow to be enormous and will take over the yard. The bushes will die, the lawn will look terrible, and when the dog finally settles down, it'll die.
And then Bonnie Hunt's response is, there couldn't have been a better response.
You understand?
No, honey, could you be more specific?
He's like, you know what? I was going to kill the dog, but I won't. But it's temporary, okay? We're just keeping this dog temporary. They decide to name the dog by drawing names out of a hat. They all got to put names in this hat.
What's his name gonna be? You can't change it, that's the rules.
Okay.
Mom picks out the first one. I guess the youngest one wanted to call Beethoven Dick.
Well, I don't think words for parts of the body make really very good names, honey.
But he's got one of those. I looked.
They decide against that for some reason. The oldest child is like, MC Hammer, let's name it MC Hammer.
Come on, MC Hammer! MC Hammer!
And I'm like, oh, I hate this oldest child already. Maybe MC Wrench, MC Hammer, no. Charles Grodin's like, you can name him Ding Dong Head for all I care. His actual words.
The difference is you could call him Ding Dong Head. He wouldn't know the difference.
Little kid girl starts playing piano, and she's playing Beethoven. Boom. Beethoven loves it. He's like, yeah, name me that. So they all name him that. So there's a montage of like Beethoven being a fucking brat. But what I want to talk about are these amazing shots that this director has created as they walk the dog to the doghouse. Beethoven licking out of a fishbowl. Overhead as the family holds hands while looking at empty plates. Are they not eating? Are they praying before eating? Are they praying or they just get around the house each night before bed and go, oh my God, thank you so much for these plates that we're going to use tomorrow because we have already eaten and cleaned them and now we're going to go to bed. I don't know, but it's a beautiful shot. And this movie didn't need them. It's just a little child's family film from the early 90s. But this director went the extra mile, and I appreciate it. Back to the montage of Charles Grodin being the shit to the anus that is Beethoven and his antics. Beethoven pees in his shoes, jumps on him while he's covered in mud, tracks mud through the house. Charles has to clean the rug after pisses happen, the pee-pee juice again. Slobbers all over the friggin' railing, just... ew. I need you to prepare yourselves for what is about to happen, okay? Because it is the grossest thing I've ever seen in anything, any movie ever. And it's like 12 guys shot their load onto the dad, and then he's just like, oh no, I didn't want this. Too much loads. Cut back to normal life. Beethoven's actually a really smart dog. Mail lady comes, cool ass shot. Dog takes the mail, no slobber, runs it into the family, and then eats bacon and slobbers all over Charles's pants. Charles goes to work, he gets in his car, and this part is so genuinely funny to me. And he's just like... doesn't say a word. It's not vulgar or malicious, it's just an accident, and it's just good humor. I love it so much. So Beethoven's just casually walking the streets, living his best life. Stealing food, begging for water. Does he know this woman at the bakery? Does he come by and just like, and then she gives him food every day? Holy spit. Beethoven got this little donut for his wishbone pal that actually helped him escape, so he like brings him food and stuff. What a sweetheart. Nope, not actually, because this kid offers him a lick of his ice cream a second later, and Beethoven scarfs down the whole thing like an a-hole. Go to Charles's work, and he's like works with air fresheners, so he has this cool little nose sculpture outside of his building, which is neat. David Duchovny and Mean Lady, well, mean David Duchovny because he's a mean boy in this movie, are wanting to be partners with Charles.
I could use that in my Beamer.
I could use it in my Beamer.
Well, we feel a lot of people could use them in their Beamers.
Except I wouldn't want to hang it from my rearview mirror.
Charles shows them a neat concept where you can Velcro it underneath your dashboard. Was this a real thing ever? Because that is super cool. Sorry, someone's being murdered down the road. We're going to continue through, though. Mailboy's son, Ted, is at school, and he's getting bullied. He mentioned earlier he wants to take karate lessons. Sorry, someone's on a motorcycle going to murder somebody. He's getting bullied, but these bullies aren't that bad. They come over to him, they pour milk on a sandwich, mess with his hair a little bit. I wouldn't mind one of those things. Guess which one? Beethoven comes and meets oldest daughter girl at the school. She greets him like, oh, hey, what's up, Beethoven? Like, we do this every day. How's it going? Feeds him a Twinkie. I don't think you're supposed to do that. So she starts whining about how perfect this other girl is. And she's hanging out with this Mark boy that she likes.
Her hair is perfect. Her teeth are perfect. Even Mark thinks she's perfect.
Bad move, sister, because Beethoven grabs a stick, ready to go over there and fuck them all up. Oh, I guess not. Pretends to play catch and then just doesn't let go of the stick and drags Mark over to the daughter. And then Mark is like, oh, you know, your dog is so cool. Anyway, check you later, Rice. And she's like, oh my God, he knows my name. Beethoven. Is naming your child Rice a thing? Like your daughter's name is Rice? Hey, what do you guys want for dinner? You want some rice? Naming your daughter Rice a thing. The name Rice is both a boy's name and a girl's name. Rice is a masculine English, Welsh, German, and Latin origin. Nah. Nope. Ready for some more bully action? The son Ted isn't either, because keep in mind he still doesn't know karate. They dump his backpack out, they take his glasses, start tossing them around. One's in the aisle. What is the bus driver doing? Is he just up there going, like, not even paying attention? You're supposed to watch out for the kids, not let them walk around the aisle. I don't give a shit what they're doing with Ted, but keep him out the aisle. Get in your seat, boy! Teddy runs to the front of the bus, the bullies follow, and the bus driver just goes, oh, I guess they want to get off here and I'll let them off, and pulls over and lets the kids off. That's not how school buses work, you stupid ass bus driving dick muncher. Very harsh, but we're in love with Ted. We're fans of Ted, okay? We don't want him to get his hair tossed and his glasses messed with. The bullies are chasing Ted down the street, and guess what the bus driver does? Gotta drop off the other kids now. How about you do something? How about you do something for this boy? What, does he hate Ted? Did he pay those bullies to beat Ted up? Is he part of the bully squad? Is he the fourth member? Ted is done with this. He has had it. So he puts his karate not knowing fists up, okay? And I'm ready to fight. Beethoven sees everything, runs up behind Ted, scares the boys off, but Ted thinks that he scared him off with just by putting his fists up ready to fight. So he goes and stares into the mirror shirtless for 7 hours. So older daughter sibling blonde girl is sitting in the bed with Beethoven, just going on and on about Mark. Does she have any friends? Is Beethoven the only one that listens? Because even he is tired of the bullshit and just leaves. She grabs a pillow and just pretending it's Mark, I guess, just thinking about him. A little obsessive if you ask me, but then I look back and I go, wow, I was pretty obsessed with my crushes during grade school as well, and all I could do was think about them. I would listen to Shaggy's Angel on my headphones in bed, just thinking, oh, you're my angel, you're my... So I guess I get it. I shouldn't burn rice so bad. Okay, so Charles puts Beethoven in his cage. Beethoven immediately gets out, goes and watches some TV. Charles and Bonnie have like some actual marital drama going on in their lives.
Well, I wish you'd come back to work.
George, there's other things that are important. I like being home when the kids get home from school. I don't want them to come home to some stranger.
So it's kind of nice to see them actually having this in the movie, grounding it in reality a little bit. But they hear a noise, so Bonnie's like, go check and see what's going on.
In the third such occurrence this month, in the past year, we've seen a 500% increase in the reported incidents of stolen pets.
And Charles is like, I got this. Goes downstairs, sees just the TV on, because Beethoven slips away easily. Goes upstairs where Bonnie has gone into another room to kiss her sleeping child. Beethoven then sneaks into the bed, prompting Charles to lie in bed with Beethoven. Didn't see his head sticking out, or maybe he just thinks that's what Bonnie looks like. So Beethoven starts licking Charles's ear, and he's like,
Oh, baby, it's not even Saturday night.
and then I just think, if it was Saturday night, would Bonnie hunt? Is that her move? She just starts on Charles's ear. Bonnie walks in. Charles sees her.
Who are you talking to?
It's just so funny. What a funny moment. leads to Charles finding the hole in Beethoven's cage. So he's like, I'm gonna put an end to that. I'm gonna put an end to that, get some blocks in there, stop you from escaping and watching TV and licking my ears. He liked it though, you could tell. Uh-oh, sprinkler alert, Charles Grodin is wet. Double uh-oh, Wishbone is caught by the robbers from the beginning of the movie. He's gonna get killed. Brings him to a warehouse full of barking dogs. We got the head honcho up in the office talking to some dude about who wants to sell him ammunition that explodes on impact. Wants to test it on animals. So the bad guy's like, you got it. But holy spit, because get this. This is a veterinarian who works out of practice, and he's now taking care of animals. And he has a visit with guess who? Beethoven today. And he is just drooling out the mouth, the doctor, because that's an animal that he can shoot in the head and test this gun, get all kinds of monies. Dr. Evil takes Charles behind closed doors and says, hey, these animals have a tendency to attack randomly. And I only bring this up because you have kids. And Charles is like, well. Update, Mama's going back to work, so they need a babysitter. And guess what? Babysitter's crazy.
Hi there, you little cutie. Don't you worry about a thing. We're gonna get along great, right, kids?
So Bonnie's now working with Charles. The deal with the bad two couple, David Duchovny and Mean Lady, goes through. They talk about having a barbecue and just have a grand old laugh. The oldest siblings are singing Lady Marmalade with the babysitter while the youngest sister grabs a beach ball, slips on a banana peel, falls into the pool. Now she's covered in wet water juice, and then...
What these children need is a little discipline.
What these children need is their mother. You're fired.
The look on the babysitter's face after Bonnie Hunt fires her, like, you can't be that shocked. Her daughter almost drowned on your watch. And you're that shocked? I could take one of these, like, but that look? No, you shouldn't be that shocked. David Duchovny and Mean Lady are now at Charles's house waiting for the barbecue that they were offered, like a couple buttholes, listening to baby son Ted tell a joke.
Do you have any kids?
So we finally, at this point, see what those two are up to. They're trying to become part of the business, to take over the business.
We pull this off in 6 months. We will own Newton Auto air fresheners.
But what they didn't count on was Beethoven overhearing this conversation, and he's probably going to poop in their oven. Oh, never mind. Beethoven decides to play the longest game of chair drag we've ever seen. Who holds on? Like, I would probably just let go. Like, I don't want to be drugging a chair that long. I guess that implies that I would be okay with it to some degree, but I don't want to be drugged by a chair at all. Nighttime comes along, and Charles is understandably outside, upset, just sitting there with Beethoven in the distance. White woman comes out, and they end up having such a tense scene between this mother and father in a movie where a dog just drug a couple people down the street in a chair.
If I had been home instead of helping you impress those morons, Emily wouldn't have fallen in the pool. And I'm not re-entering the workforce, George. You're gonna have to do this on your own. And you will. Somehow you'll make your fortune. And tucked away behind you, deep in the shadows, will be me and the kids.
It's so realistic, it's so grounded, and helps the absurdity of this movie become like a realistic part of this reality. She's like, you know what, I'm going to bed. And he says,
My dream's going down the drain, and you're worried about a dog.
And then she responds,
Your family's going down the drain, and you're worried about a dream.
It's like, I'm getting emotional right now, just reading notes and remembering this moment of this movie, this family film of the early 90s. I can't get over it. It's so good. It's so powerful. Uh-oh, bad boy medical butt face is here to ruin the day.
All right, you get the next one.
I don't know.
What happened?
I'm so sorry. You just lunged at me.
That's not true. I saw you. You hit Beethoven.
And he decides he's got to get rid of the dog. So he gets him, puts him in the car, takes him to the vet. And then, you can tell that he's emotional about it, even though Beethoven's been nothing but a brat. He understands that Beethoven has brought his family so much love.
My dad had to take our dog to the vet to be put down. Hated him for it. Now I'm doing it myself.
I have the bad wing.
Charles says he's sorry. That he was his dog too. Dr. Bad Guy smiles a very creepy smile, knowing that he gets to pop a cap in Beethoven's skull, an exploding cap. Boo, Dr. Bad Guy. Bad Guy Doctor gives Beethoven to the goons from the very beginning of the movie who were stealing animals, but what they all don't know is that Beethoven already has a guy on the inside, a dog by the name of Wishes Full of Bones, Wishbone. Charles and the family decides, fuck it, I don't care if he mauled that doctor. He's part of the family and we're gonna go ahead and go get him. But then they get there and find out, where is he? He's not there. And the doctor's there, and then the doctor is revealed that he wasn't bitten. The Dr. Dude's like, if you punch me, I'm gonna charge you with assault. Charles Grodin doesn't give a fuck, man. He punches him right in the noggin. The family all applauds Charles for assault.
Whoa! Dad!
Honey.
And they skedaddle out of there. They call the cops. They're no help. They see Dr. Doofus walk outside and decide to become stalkers.
Hold your door, hold your door. Shut it.
The Goonbergs grab Wishbone, but he's like, everything's happening, and Beethoven gets out, murders him. Oh, never mind, I guess he just bites his shoe. But Charles jumps onto the roof, starts looking through a window, sees Beethoven down there.
We're gonna have a little field test of this new ammo. So,
Bursts through the glass, falls on the bad guys, but doesn't fall on Dr. Evil, who has the gun. Wishbone is like, oh, I'm coming to help. Bites Dr. Dingus in the dingus, right in the dick. Bites him full on the dick. Like, it shows him jumping and biting on his dick and then hanging on his dick. Like, it's crazy how this movie isn't rated R because of this moment right here. Look how long he lingers biting this doctor's dick. So his dick is chomped. Gun goes off. Not his gun, the actual gun goes off. The kids hear the gunshot and they go, oh my God, a gunshot, we gotta save Dad. Ted decides to drive right into the building, not knowing where the fuck he's going, and then ends up in the right spot, so good on him. Goons end up getting chased by a bunch of dogs. They get murdered. No, wait, sorry, they jump over a fence. But there's junkyard dogs in here from the, remember Motor Skank? It's probably her junkyard. Those dogs come up and they murder them. Cut to the family watching the news. Turns out they weren't murdered, but they are going to jail along with Dr. Dickhead. And they're all happy, just a happy family.
Dad, who is it?
Somebody who saw you on TV. Mark something.
We cut to the last shot. Beethoven is in bed with the parents, but there's a litter of puppies all around, so I hear there's a sequel. Spoiler alert. Thank you for watching. It's Beethoven's recap. What a movie. You should rewatch it. It's a lot of fun.